guys, welcome back to Sir TV. I'm Lorato Akpata, your usual host. Happy New Year! We are in our new season. I hope this year brings you joy, brings you happiness, and we are back this year, and we're going to be bringing you more of great interviews, obviously, that you're going to be learning from. That's mainly what we basically do, and of course we touch a bit on financial management as well, mainly what we do, so that you can actually just learn from the moguls that we bring into our TV show. So welcome. Today we actually have Mr. Owen Rampha on the show today. We're going to be learning a lot from him. I can't wait for this one. Let me just welcome him. Owen, welcome to the show. Welcome to Zero TV.
Thank you very much, Lorato. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah. I don't know about learning much from me, but...
we're going to learn a lot today. Because this is your first interview, you say? Is it your first?
No, it's not my first. I'm just not one to give interviews.
Yeah,
this is probably my second podcast.
Podcast.
This is my second podcast ever.
Oh, yeah?
Through numerous requests. I don't know how you managed to convince
I don't know. My magic. It's my magic.
How you pulled this off.
But I have to say thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate, because you can imagine how busy you are.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So, how are you doing though? How's
I'm good.
everything? Yeah.
I'm good. I'm a little tired. It's been a long year.
Already?
Yeah. No, the one before.
Oh, the one before, yes.
Yeah. And obviously that period, November, December, it's a bit hectic for me.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes.
I did take a little break.
Yeah.
And we'll keep pushing for this year.
Absolutely. Yeah. So who is Owen Rampha? I want us to now tap onto a bit of background. Let's start there. A bit of background. Who is Owen Rampha? And where is he from? Who are you?
Okay. My names are Mwemedi Owen Rampha as they appear on my ID.
Yes, Mwemedi.
Yeah. I also respond to Mr. O to Tawa Tutsu. You know, there's plenty others. I was born in Mahalape, and I grew up at Sikinya. So I relate to both villages, but one only Mahalape. I came to Gabs to do primary school in 1982 and stayed ever since. You know, I went to high school, Marang, Community Junior Secondary School, after doing primary school, Brothers Primary School. I left Marang after a year because I was getting beaten every day.
Why?
For delinquency.
Yes. It's something that...
I was one of those in high school.
I wonder. We'll talk about that. Yes, okay.
So I convinced my parents, like, you need to move me from this school. These people are trying to kill me.
No, okay.
So I relocated to Bukamoso, Community Junior Secondary School. That's what they were called at the time.
Yes.
That's where I did my Form 2. And then from there, I went to GSS. And then from GSS, I went to UB. I would say I'm a radio man, I'm a music man, I'm a guy who likes fishing. I have a passion for farming, you know, especially the sales side of farming. Music is in my DNA. I get that from my dad, my love for music and my passion for music. And it's one of the reasons why I chose a career in music and broadcasting. I'm an easygoing fellow most of the time.
Yeah.
Fishing has taught me patience. I can be a little bit too frank, like unfiltered for people's liking.
Yes, especially in this country, we are very sensitive. Very sensitive, you know, nation.
So, I'm acutely aware of that.
Yeah.
And it's something I'm really working on you know, learning to practice tact.
Yes, tact.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a nutshell, I don't know if I've left anything out.
Yes. What did you study at UB?
Oh, I studied a Bachelor of Arts in Social Sciences with a major in Political Science and Public Administration, and I left.
Oh, you left halfway?
I left to pursue my dreams.
Ah.
Yeah.
The successful ones seem to leave
my
school.
Dreams were broadcasting,
Yes.
and DJing at the time.
At the time.
That's what they were.
So that's when it started.
Yeah. As soon as I left, I got my first job on the radio.
Yeah. When did you get your first job on radio?
April 1998.
You were still at UB.
Yeah, well, sort of.
Something like that.
Something like that.
So tell me, when you were in high school, you did say horno beza thata gomarang, and go kamoso no sabes. Isn't thata balini ba go take it.
Yes, isn't
Thata. Yeah. Did you DJ? Were you entertainment? No, nothing like that.
What I had was, I had music.
Yes.
I had lots of music. So I was constantly around boom boxes, you know. In our time, they were called boom boxes. What you guys call Bluetooth speakers. Oh. We didn't have Bluetooth back then.
Okay.
So they were called boom boxes. I was always around the guys who had those, listening to the latest, freshest music. You know, as a kid, that was my thing. In high school, I was always talking about music. I was always listening to the radio. So I'd always have these conversations. Yo, guys, did you hear this new song by LL Cool J? You know, DJ Sid played it on RB2 yesterday. That was me. So as much as in high school I wasn't a DJ, but music was always around me. It was always around me at home. It was always around me, cosplaying, even during leisure times. Like if you needed to find me,
music,
you would find me. How on the radio thing? That's where you'd find me.
So what basically you're sharing is you're born with this thing. So whatever you're supposed to be doing on earth, whoever it is, you'll be drawn to it.
I guess so.
It looks like it.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been really lucky. Like, I made up my mind that I wanted to be a radio star as far back as, I think maybe by the age of 14. You know, I mean, I had interests in being a lawyer and a doctor, but this broadcasting thing was also right there amongst those three things that I was interested in. And I remember I got a radio set for my dad for passing my PSLEs, my standard 7. That radio set was never off. I would leave it on even when I was out of my room doing whatever I was doing. And I'd come back, it was always on. So I used to listen to the radio almost 70% of the time. When I was at home, I was in my room.
You're drawn to this. You were drawn to it. Actually, it was pulling you.
Yeah.
Tell me about
I
your
grew
dad.
up in a house full of music.
Tell me about your dad. Tell me about that. What does that mean?
Yeah. Wow. I think my dad is the most inspirational human that I've ever known, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's a man of patience, a man of strength, a man of goodwill, you know, a dependable man. And he's taught me so much. And I've seen that man go through the things, you know, and remain standing, you know, and I've seen him remain unchanged in terms of who he is, even through his experiences. He's a man who loved music, both the Commodores, both Air Supply, Bo Lionel Richie, Barry White, George Benson, even the other guys, Bo Jim Reeves, Bo Boney M. Like, it was just a house full of all types of music. On Saturday mornings, he'd be out washing the car. We'd be out doing the garden. My sister'd be in the kitchen with my mom's and helping out. That was our Saturday morning Golabe. But the radio, music was playing. So I loved dancing as a kid. And I used to put up these impromptu shows for my folks. But you know how parents get like it. So now, habaying batla. Women, that would be never.
So you were actually now the entertainer of the family.
I'm 16 now. We ain't playing those games no more.
Yes, when you're a teenager, no, it doesn't fly when you're a teenager.
But I can tell you, they were shocked when I chose a career. Like when I chose a career in broadcasting.
They were shocked.
And I was like,
it's interesting.
I was like, the irony of this is that it really shouldn't surprise you.
Yes,
looking
the programming.
I mean, the road trips, how you are my people is music. That's still me today. You know, like you give me a long road
Yes.
and a dope soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'm
How would you say the way that you're speaking about your dad, how would you say it has contributed to you to being the man you are today? Because I think it's such an important thing, and
It is.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm stubborn.
Yes.
So it's not like I've picked up all my father's best traits. You know.
Yes. I mean, we are still our own.
You find your way, you chart your own path.
Absolutely.
But definitely, I find him inspirational, and definitely, I'd love to be more like him in terms of the things that I've just extolled about him.
Yes.
You know, but don't for a second. I can't even negate or minimize the impact of my mom.
Oh yes.
On me too.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
my mom was an authoritarian. You know,
Sounds
she
like my
believed
mom.
in discipline. She nearly had me stressed, you know, before she retired.
Yeah.
You know, several high schools. So, that one, there was no messing around there, you know. But she was a woman. She is a woman full of love, care, and nurturing, you know, and guidance. You know, as much as we know which lines not to cross, but you can always count on her to be there for you in your deepest, darkest times of need. You know, I've never ever had to doubt that about my mom.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Now I want us to get into your career.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, when you finished it, you didn't finish it.
When I left UB.
When you left UB, you got your first radio job.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Where was the first radio job then?
So, 1992, right? I'm in high school, go GSS, and I hear about this radio station being launched, which is the new commercial arm Radio Botswana, and it's going to be called RB2. And there's these guys who are going on there, DJ Sidbo Shakes the Mix, DJ Fresh, DJ Ski, you know, Bo, Monica Mpusu, Amelia Malebane, Lesolo Bonyi. Wow.
Yeah,
actually, I remember all of them.
It's so interesting. You got a good memory.
But that shows you how impactful it was on me.
Yes.
And how much time I spent listening to them. Right?
That too.
Exactly.
Yes,
so I used to call the radio a lot when I was in high school and give shout outs. There was this thing called Dedication Corner.
I remember it, yes.
And then I've my name was Jazzy D. Yeah, aka Jazzy Def.
Jazzy D. Is this the calling in
that
name?
That was my calling name.
Yeah, okay. Jazzy D. Jazzy Def. Yes.
Jazzy D was short for Jazzy Def. Yes. Inspired by Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You know?
Yeah, that's what we listened to. That. Yes,
so I used to call in and give shout outs to my boys in high school. And sometimes they'd catch it. How about that on a Saturday? Yeah. And we talk about it on Monday. Oh, I heard you on the radio.
Yes.
You know? And then I used to call in a lot and win all the competitions on RB2. It's a music. If it was any music related question or any general knowledge question, I was there. Until they actually had to ban me from calling. They had asked me to stop calling.
Because you called so many times. You were so drawn to this. It's so interesting because you even called them. Yeah. Yes.
So that was 92, 93, Kehetsa go GSS, and I go to TS, 94. And I go to Khalagadi. Go Motsi Wibido to Kolongwani. There are these other sand dunes. And how on top of those sand dunes you can catch Radio Bob, which was a very popular station.
Yes.
In
the Bob Madonna times. Yes.
So I used to listen to Radio Bob. I could only catch it in the evening until early morning on the AM frequency, medium wave. So I'd listen to it. Wow. And I'd be just like, man, honestly, this is what I want to do, you know. I had already quit my ambitions of being a doctor because I signed for TS. And the sight of blood, I was like, okay.
This is not me.
This is not my kind of party.
No.
You know, so now I was looking for information on how one gets onto the radio. And there was no internet in 1994, 1995. It wasn't what you see today. Okay, so I couldn't exactly Google this stuff, right? So I was in the dark in terms of what to do, what to study to get a career on radio, a career in broadcasting. So I took a gap year in 1995 and didn't go to UB.
And your parents allowed it?
It was, It was a big fight. I even moved out of home. I went and stayed with my uncle, Kojwani. And that's where I became a teacher. I was a temporary English language teacher at Marama in 1995.
It was during your gap year?
Yeah, during my gap year.
What were you teaching?
English.
English.
Yeah, I was teaching English. And then that went on, and then my dad came to fetch me after about 8 months. I think the following year, came to pick me up like, dude. Rayu. Fida di foremost. You know? So while I was waiting for the semester to open in August of 1996, I was a waiter at Mike's Kitchen.
Mike's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Where Cafe Dijon is now.
Yeah,
Yes, I remember.
I was a waiter there. I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed the tips.
Yes, and service.
Absolutely.
Service, yeah.
And I also got a job as a floor rep or game. The first game stores that opened, Go Village. That was where Super Spies.
I remember that.
Just behind River Walk.
I remember that, yes.
I used to work there as a
while you were
to
waiting start
I was
school.
waiting to go to UB. Yeah. And then, while I was at UB, I was waiting tables at Mike's Kitchen part-time while I was studying. I met Amelia Maliban, go Mike's Kitchen, and I knew exactly who she was.
How did you know?
She's Amelia Maliban. She's on the radio.
Oh, but how did you know her face?
Now, Kuklana magazine, Daily News, you know, like.
Yeah, so you knew the faces behind the radio. Oh.
Absolutely. So I spoke to her about my interest in getting a job in radio, and she asked me to send an application, you know, and I sent in an application, and my application was, I remember it to this day, and Sydney Baizile can corroborate this because he read it. Hi, dear sirs or madam, my name is Owen Rampha. I'm the next best thing to happen to the radio. I have zero experience except this God-given talent and this absolute belief that if given a chance, I will rock these airwaves like no other. As we speak, I believe that I can outdo Shakes the Mix.
Yes!
On air.
Shakes the Mix! Oh, he's gonna kill you.
That was my application letter.
Shakes the Mix.
And I've been doing some research. And I know that next year, because it was 1998.
You wrote the Shakes Mix on the letter.
It's on my letter. I was like, I know that next year, there's 2 new private radio stations that are coming up in Botswana. If you don't take me,
I'm going there.
One of them is, and you guys are going to regret it.
All on the letter.
That was my application letter. It's in dear sir, I hereby apply for the position
and I'm
of...
good. Where did you get this audacity?
I had this singular belief.
Yeah.
Absolute belief that this was the job for me. And I could excel at it. I mean, I spent... Anyway, I'll tell you that. You know when they talk about if you dream it, you can achieve it.
Yes.
If you put it into action, you can achieve it. Yeah, I'm definitely, I can safely say I'm a believer in that because I've seen it happen more than once to me. You know.
It works.
It works.
It works.
As long as you take decisive action to turn those dreams into reality. And if you truly believe or this is for you and no one can take it from you and that you can do this, nothing will stand in your way. So I truly believed when I sent that application letter that I would get the job. I truly believed that I'm going to get a job on RB2 as a presenter. It was in my head and my heart every single day.
So you thought about it?
Yes, without fail.
You believed it.
And you laser focused.
Yes, and you acted by writing, by applying, and then you focused on it.
I used to play tennis for the junior national team as a junior for Botswana. I had these tennis rackets in my bedroom. I used to sit in my room. The tennis racket was my mic. And I would broadcast a radio show to this imaginary audience in my bedroom. My Ziba before Keroba. I did that a lot. So I'd take the best parts of who I like listening to on the radio, and kind of like shape myself around that in that bedroom of mine, in my imaginary broadcast studio. So Sid, when he tells the story, when they read that application letter, they were so offended that they were so curious to meet this upstart or papang ja. Let's meet this ridiculously ambitious young man so that we can put him in his place. So I got called for the auditions. And I remember at the time there were just over 120 of us who were called in for the auditions. It was a big thing. And there's it. He was a programming head at the time, I think, Guadalupe. And he's like, usually we do a voice test. We check if you can read Setswana fluently, read English fluently, speak it fluently, both languages, and then we're good to go. We'll put you in shadowing. Not this year. This year, we would like you to go into our mini production studios with a producer, pick out some music, and deliver a 20-minute show, which will be recorded, and then we will listen to the shows and evaluate. That whole room went silent. I was like, these guys aren't ready.
I've been practicing.
I've been doing this every single day.
I've been practicing. I've been ready.
But luck is when opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I picked some dope songs. I remember one of them was Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Summertime, which I know the lyrics from top to bottom by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's one of the songs.
Summertime.
That's the one. I remember playing it and then opening a link. Because, everybody's wondering what's going on with Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince because they haven't released any new music in a while. In fact, since this particular anthem, maybe it's because Will Smith is now, really into this movie star thing. He's just starred in Independence Day, and I hear there's a couple more projects coming. While I was doing this, the producer was shocked at the information that I was sharing around the music that I was playing. That's because I subscribed to Vibe magazine, but the source. So I knew all this stuff because I read.
Yes, you read.
I lived, breathed music. I mean, just that. So I delivered that show in a blink. And I think 3 days later, I got a call. Get shadowing. Shadow. And they assigned me to a particular presenter. I'm not going to mention their name.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, this is the presenter that's going to show you the ropes. And I came one day. I came 2 days. The third day I was in the office. I don't think you guys understood me. I want a career in broadcasting. The presenter you've assigned me to is not going to teach me anything that's going to give me a career in broadcasting. I want you to assign me to Mr. Sydney Baitzile, who is the current afternoon drive time host and head of programming. I believe I can learn a whole lot more from him
than this guy. So you told, my gosh.
I took charge of my
dream.
I didn't let anyone direct it for me. I was very intentional. I knew exactly what I wanted, and I knew how I wanted to get it. Right? And once again, they were shocked, but they agreed. So I shadowed. So I shadowed Sydney Baitzile.
In the afternoon drive this time.
On the afternoon drive.
Yes.
I used to sit there last long watching him work. He'll tell you it was the most torrid 2 weeks that he experienced.
What?
Every button he pressed, I asked,
what's that?
Why are you taking this channel up, only up to here and not all the way up there? What's that deck for? Those things hang on the right. What is that? Why do you say the time in this particular fashion? Why is it that how Bua, Lina La Pina, you say this, or you only say it after? Why do you play this thing here? This is RB2. Why do you play it here and not there? His dude was like, my goodness. And then guess what? 2 weeks later, Sydney goes on leave. And guess who they ask to host the afternoon drive show, RB2, during Sydney's
Leave. You.
In his famous words, yours truly.
Why did they ask you?
I think he recommended me after the shadowing, those 2 weeks. So like, actually, guys, this dude is the guy he thinks he is. So let's give him that shot.
Yeah.
You know, let's see if indeed, you know. So, and I'm talking from zero to hero. I came in as a trainee, straight onto standing in for DJ Sid on the afternoon drive show on a national broadcaster, being RB2. 3 to 6, Monday to Friday. I did it for 2 weeks. When those 2 weeks were done, I was offered a job to host the midday show on RB2, Monday to Friday from 12 to 2.
Amazing. I mean, wait. We need to really break down where you got that tenacity, where you got this bravery, where you got, and how did you know? You know, it's the knowing. I call it the inner knowing. You knew, but we have to tap into that. But just after a break, so that we can freshen up. Owen, thank you. I'm sure we're gonna get back, guys. We'll be right back. And we're back. So welcome back, guys. So Owen, we were talking about your tenacity, the way that you just pushed through, and how you got a really prime show on RB2 from 12 to, was it 12 to 3? 12 to 3, yes, Mondays to Fridays. That's prime for somebody that is coming for the first time.
Yeah.
I want us to talk about the inner knowing, okay? Before we continue on the journey. The inner knowing, you know, that you just know. You are drawn to who you are. This is basically what you've been sharing. Now, can we share the confidence? You know, I think this is what probably the viewer would want to know. How does one get the confidence and the audacity to be able to tell their leader, I think this guy is the one that can do it? But obviously this time in a more strategic, I believe right now, as compared to you then, the teenager then, you know, words are refined, there's tact, you know.
I'd like to believe so too.
You know, so then how do we, you know, how do we do that in the most tactful way and be able to really push the boundaries, considering that there are leaders who get challenged by personalities like this? And how did you handle it if you hit a wall? Yeah, how do you, when you hit a wall of a leader that was basically not appreciating your personality? Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I haven't really encountered that challenge from my side, where, well, up until when I switched careers, actually.
We'll talk about that one.
But throughout my tenure as a presenter, as a music manager, as a programs manager, I've been very lucky. Like, I had a leader, a manager, a boss. I don't like that word a lot. Yeah, boss. But anyway, I was lucky to have someone like that who was also my friend, being Dumi. I think Dumi Lopang is a phenomenal manager, phenomenal leader.
Absolutely. An agreement.
When I got to Yarona in 2001, already the boundaries, like, I'm a guy who likes to you know, understand that, okay, you're okay, boss, you're okay, colleague, but how that was spanning is bad. You know what I mean? I've been pretty switched on about that towards my top leadership, which has given me a pretty smooth journey career-wise. But it's nice to have someone who listens to your ideas, who consults with you regarding a particular move, even if they're not necessarily going to adopt your suggestions or your ideas, but they're willing to come to you and say, listen, I think we should go in this direction. What do you think? Based on ABCDFG. But if we try it this way, but are you really sure? How about if we do it this way? And then we get on that road. It's a nice collective buy-in. And as a leader, when you're charting the path, having that buy-in from your team, pushing on with you is a beautiful thing. And I've had that in terms of leadership that was in front of me. So it's been very fortunate that, to have someone like that around you who also guides and leads, and you pick up things from them, when you are guiding and leading. Every day is a learning experience, honestly. If you're not learning every day, you're doing yourself a disservice. You can't know everything. You can learn from the oldest person in the room. You can learn from the youngest person in the room. You can learn from the person who looks least equipped to assist Kasim, just as much as you can learn from the person who is the expert. So never pass up an opportunity to learn. And that's the one thing that served me well in my career in broadcasting. Even when I was at RB2, I never stopped understanding the machinery.
Kept asking.
By radio.
Kept asking.
And by machinery, I'm not necessarily talking about hardware. Like the entire, animal.
Of radio.
Of radio.
Yeah.
Like, what is this thing? How does it function? How does it make money? How do you set it up? I mean, as we speak, I can set up a radio station from scratch. I know exactly what is required to build a radio station, to get it out on air, and to keep it functional, And I'm self-taught. I learned that by opening my eyes, my ears, reading, asking the people who were doing it. Like, when I was at RB2, I befriended one of the technicians because I wanted to understand this thing at the frequency, a frequency spectrum, the repeater, how do you get a signal across from point A to point B? So I befriended.
Like, what's AM, what's FM, and all that? I
befriended one of the technicians, and I used to ask him these questions. And then I go into the public library, her civic center, because there was no Google in 1998, and I would pick up a book and read.
About radio?
Yes, and try and understand it. So you asked about tenacity and knowing. What can I say? I was fortunate that my parents instilled in me this belief that you can do anything, you can achieve anything that you set your mind to. They instilled that in me. And I think also what gave me the confidence is that I pass up line was school. Like from primary school, I was that guy. So that also kind of gives you that confidence to just walk into a room,
parenting,
and say, hey, mama, I think I can do A, B, C, D. Give me an opportunity. All I need is one chance. That's pretty much what my story was. All I need is one chance, and I'll show you.
So what you're saying is, first, parenting. It goes a long way in building a child that will have an inner knowing. The environment that you expose your child to, you're surrounded with music, and encourage it. But now, as much as your parents, when they were probably instilled the doctor and everything, but you had the inner knowing. They still raised you to be this child that is confident and believe in themselves.
Guys, I dreamt radio.
Yeah. Did you dream it?
I dreamt radio. I dreamt broadcasting. I dreamt DJing. I dreamt myself standing in front of a crowd of thousands of people, making them scream my name. as I was playing their favorite songs.
When you
It's
say
the
dreamt,
stuff
when you
that
say
I dreamt.
you mean like you dreamt when sleeping, or
Yes.
you visualized it?
I dreamt it while I was sleeping, and I definitely visualized it. I still visualize myself playing in front of big crowds today, you know?
And you still enjoy it?
And I still enjoy it. I do it, yet I still visualize it. Even though I've been doing it for 25 years, I still visualize myself in front of crowds, rocking crowds.
Oh, and you know these are the tips that are on self-development books.
Oh, yeah?
What you're sharing now, every single self-development book we're reading right now, it says visualize. Know yourself. Know what you want. Dream it. Think about exactly what he's been saying ever since we started the interview. It's exactly what is in the self-development books. Were you a reader when you were?
Oh yeah, I was a big reader. I still am. I consume literature. I love reading. And now, because the internet has made it easy, as much as I love a good book, now I'm also the guy who pick up journals on the net. You know, just Google a particular topic that I want to catch up on. I'll go through those journals and see what I'm always reading about broadcasting. I'm always reading about the internet, digital marketing, sales in a digitally driven environment. I'm always reading about how radio remains relevant in a digital economy.
Yes.
I'm constantly staying up to speed with the industry I operate on or in, because I don't want to be caught slipping. You know, what do doctors spend a lot of time doing? They spend a lot of time doing research. Yeah. Lawyers spend a lot of time doing research, doing casework.
Every career.
So I'm like, why wouldn't I
want to know?
So
the information, the reason why I'm saying are you a reader, I've long picked up that you're a reader because you mentioned Vibes magazine, you mentioned, just to know what's happening in the entertainment industry, radio industry, and you went to, library. Do you also read anything else besides?
Other than what's related to what my favorite book in the world is?
Yes.
The Iliad and the Odyssey by Homer.
By who?
Homer.
What is it about?
It's the story of Odysseus. Who was, it's Greek mythology. It's a powerful story. It was a poem that has been turned into this thick, like the original is this thick, plenty of pages, hardcover, which I got as a gift, go squealing, go prize giving. And I've read that book so many times. And in that book, the story of Odysseus and his challenges and the many years he spent going through so many trials and tribulations and never giving up until, his life turned out exactly the way he wanted it to. I mean, I was reading about that when I was 12 years old.
Imagine. And so you were drawn to this. Hence you taught English.
Yeah.
I picked up the teaching of English, so that means that there's literature and English came naturally to you. But you were reading that book at that age.
Absolutely.
You know who I know that read those kind of books at that age is, I don't know if you know Meti.
Oh, yeah.
She's my cousin.
Oh, yeah?
Her and her siblings, when we grew up, I used to find the books so boring. At my I think I was like in standard 7. Her late sister, used to read some books, and I was like, can you just give me books that are for teenagers, at the time. But I think it's like I said, it's an inner knowing. You get drawn to who you are. And you can see who she is now and who you are now and the kind of books that you read. This is special. This is very, 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 very special.
There's a lot of hidden knowledge in books.
Yes. I'm a reader, but I didn't read those type of books, but I read a lot. Yeah.
I read everything. I actually encourage my presenters to do the same. Like my teams. I encourage my teams to read everything. Like everything. Like when you're sitting in the doctor's waiting room.
Take and read.
Pick up that magazine.
And read.
You're going to find something that you didn't know in that magazine.
And you can share it on your...
There we go.
I get you.
So I encourage them to
always be reading,
to research, to pick up, interesting articles about subject matter that might not necessarily be mainstream, but you might pick up something
Not necessarily
that's
entertainment. Yes.
You might pick up something that's interesting. That's how I approached my broadcast career. So, I also had kind of a little bit about the journey.
Yes.
From RB2, I moved to Gabs FM.
Yes. Now I wanted us to, we talked about, let me bring it back a little bit. The midday.
Oh yeah,
radio,
the midday show.
The midday show. Because now you've talked about how you got there, how you, the tenacity. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the midday radio and your experience on that and how now you moved.
Yeah.
From there, why you left?
I did 12 to 3, Mondays to Fridays on RB2. And on Mondays, there was a Lovers Plus radio show for an hour between 12 and 1. You believe another thing, RB2 was broadcasting in Gaborone and surrounding areas. But in that hour, between 12 and 1 on Mondays, in Nehasa nationally, you would get onto the Radio Botswana frequency. So I was that dude on RB2 who had a national audience between 12 and 1, Lovers Plus, and we had to speak Setswana. And ke sone se leng gore le gompieno ke kgona go gasa ka Setswana ka phuthologo ke sa bonye ebile ke sena ha le mathata ka gore ko RB2 e ne e le molao wa teng gore gare ga nakwa lesome le bobedi la 1 o'clock mo letsatsing e be go buiwa
Setswana gore ba tsone ba lutlwe that was the main thing.
And
yes,
one thing I was like, but man, practice makes perfect.
Yes.
Those are the facts.
Yes.
I can get away with a job go Motsweding FM. Look what Radio Botswana.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. I won't be too bad on Radio Botswana.
Yes.
So that happened, and then a year.
How long were you always on the midday team?
Yeah.
The whole
I was 12 to 3 until August of 1999. Yeah, April to August of it was, I think, a year and a half.
Yes.
And then I left to join Gabs FM. Remember, in my application letter to RB2,
yes,
it said there's 2 new stations coming up in 1999, 2 new private commercial broadcasters. And if you guys at RB2 don't take me, they're definitely going to take me.
How did you know?
And you guys are going to
How did you know about the new reading?
Research. So I knew that the
competition is coming.
That the airwaves were being liberalized. So there'd be more stations. And guess what? I got poached by Gabs FM.
Oh, you got poached?
Yeah, they came
You
calling.
didn't apply?
They came calling, like, we need you. So it was in that letter that one of those 2 new stations.
I'm going to hire me.
I'm going to hire me.
You wrote it down.
And it happened.
You wrote it down.
They called me. And I went 12 to 3, Monday to Friday, go Gabs FM. But at that point now, I was like, this is all good and well, but I really want a deep knowledge of this thing called radio. I really do. So, I go train you as a producer, so I can make commercials. How do you guys make commercials? This pick up of Manas the best in Botswana, all that stuff. How do you make this, right? So I learned that. I learned how to schedule music using a playlisting system. While I was still a presenter, no one was paying me for it. I just wanted to understand this thing. And then Go Gabs FM, I had the pleasure of encountering a gentleman, may his soul rest in peace, called Daniel Feist. Daniel Feist was a broadcast consultant from Canada who had done radio for many years. Top tier, top level radio.
He was in Botswana?
Yeah, he came, Go Gabs FM, to come and whip us into shape.
He was hired by Gabs FM?
Yes. And man, did he not whip us into shape. That man was a hard nut to crack, a difficult man to please. But once he set those goals for you and you achieved them, man, the rewards were amazing, And that's what we strive for. We strive to see the look of pride on Daniel Feist's face to say, yo, this was a great show. Like what you did today, do it again tomorrow. Like that would leave me beaming with pride. But 2 days before that, he was like, what on earth are you doing? Who taught you this garbage? If I ever hear this again, don't come back. You know, some guys would sit there and feel totally crushed and devastated. I'd be listening to this dude. I'm like, okay, today you weren't good enough, Owen. Tomorrow, be better.
That's what you say
The
to
day-
yourself.
Absolutely. The day after tomorrow, show Daniel Feist what you're made of. And on Friday, make sure Daniel Feist invites you into his office for a shot of whiskey. That was me. Daniel Feist, I spent so much time with him asking him programming questions because his thing was programming. And programming is about curating content that appeals to the audience and then, you know, scheduling that across the day with the right presenter at the right time, the right format in terms of broadcast clocks.
Yes.
That's what programming is, and that's what I love.
That's what,
It's like painting
I get you.
man, this tapestry.
So what you're saying is, as you were learning about radio, you then found out what you are more drawn to about radio, and that was broadcasting. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Then I got promoted. Go Gabs FM from 12 to 3 to afternoon drive.
Yes.
3 to 6. And I was doing a feature. I forget what I called it. But in a nutshell, there used to be a hugely popular feature on the Gabs FM breakfast show, like a solo.
Cholobi.
A solo B. Late.
I remember Solo B, yes.
Maybe do the hot potato.
Yes. Yes, I remember.
It started on my show. I created that.
Ah.
But, I mean, I didn't title it the hot potato. But I was like, it's not best suited for the afternoon drive show. So I told the programs manager, who was Sydney Baitila again,
Yes, I remember.
assisted by Daniel Feist, that guys, I think we should give this to the breakfast show.
Yes.
It would fly there, you know? That was my first programming decision.
Oh.
And I didn't even know that.
Yes.
You know? So I met Gabs FM. I'm loving it. I'm learning production. I'm learning music scheduling. I'm starting to get an insight into programming. I'm speaking to the sales manager. I'm understanding the sales process. So I'm starting to get an appreciation for the whole business at radio. But I'm there causing fire between 3 and 6 on the afternoon drive show. And there's a cat who breezed into Botswana called Robbie Rob.
Yes. I
On
remember
Yarona.
Robbie Rob. Yes. Yes.
And he's causing fire on Yarona.
Very talented guy, by the way.
Causing fire,
Yes.
changing the game.
Yeah.
But he's whispering to Yarona management, guys, there's a guy on Gabs FM there.
He's trying
Between 3 and 6.
to.
We need to bring this guy here because, yay, there's too much fire that side. And that's how I got the call from Yarona.
How long were you at Gibbs FM?
A year and a half.
A year and a half as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got the call from Doomy. Mind you,
Dumi was still the station manager at the time.
at the
I guess.
time,
Yeah.
he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was head of sales.
Head of sales, yes.
But I had met him in 99. Okay, I had met Doomy in 99.
Yes, yes.
Just before Yarona came on air. And they were actually running auditions. Right? And Doomy and I were on a trip. I caught a lift with Doomy to Joburg. Little blue City Golf, tape deck, forget CD player. And I had this cassette. Yaha, Senyaka, and what's that dude's name, man?
Yeah.
I forget his
Yeah,
name.
the song, yeah, take a look.
No, Senyaka and the other dude. There's another dude, man, who does Olam Juke. What is his name? I can't believe we're gonna forget
Yes,
it.
it'll come.
Anyway.
Yes.
I put it in the tape deck, and that song nearly phone call.
Telephone call.
I was the first dude to have that tape around here, okay? Papa Tables! We had that playing all the way to Joburg. The better rewind, the high hair. Like Dumi and I connected over a mutual love for quiet.
Yeah.
Okay? And that song, phone call. So now we're conversating, you know.
Yes.
We're talking about this radio stuff.
This is you and Dumi.
Yeah, in 99.
Wait, are you still at Gibbs FM? Or you've moved?
In 99, I'm at Gabs FM.
Yes.
I'm at Gabs FM.
And you caught a lift with him?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. This is you are still at Gibbs FM, yes.
And there's an audition process. Yeah.
Yarona, yes. This is before they called you, right?
Yeah. I went there. I wasn't even auditioned. Now,
Yeah, they called you
spilling
like a-
secrets. No, During the interview audition process, I went there.
You
and
went.
they welcomed me into the room. They're like, we know you. We heard you on RB2. We heard you on Gabs FM. Let's talk a little bit later. It's all good. But nothing was formalized. This was in 99.
I get you, yes.
So I'm on Gabs FM. But now Robbie Rob, about 2000, he's telling these guys, guys, there's a fellow that side, right? Dumi and I were in negotiations between 2000 and 2001 for me to move to Yarona. Because I wasn't budging. And I wasn't budging for one simple thing. I was at RB2 doing radio, 12 to 3 midday. A year and a half, then I'm at Gabs FM. I'm here a year and a half. I've done 12 to 3 an afternoon drive. I need a new challenge. So if I come to Yarona, you have to make me the music manager. I will go and do radio. I'll do breakfast. I'll move for breakfast because I always want to do breakfast radio. I will move for breakfast, but I want the music manager position.
As well.
So and there was
both.
no such position, Goyaro.
So you're creating a position.
So we're talking, okay, what does this entail? We're talking, no, this is the guy who curates the music, sorts out playlists, does the research, understands what the audience wants to hear, sets the mood, picks up on trends. And I had found that out because I'd been reading about what music compilers and music managers do.
Yeah.
I was like, my love for music, man, this is that job for me. Imagine getting paid to listen to music all day long and then to go in the studio and actually play it. So that deal came to fruition in 2001. And I'll take you back again to my application letter to RB2.
Yes. Yeah, but
2 stations are coming up. If you don't take me, they're going to take me. And it happened.
Both of them?
Both of them. That's how I ended up at Yarona. As breakfast show host and music manager. And then I became programs manager because, again, I had now established relations with YFM, with the guys in programming for YFM in Joburg.
When did you establish the relationships with YFM, Owen? You skipped that part. When did you establish that relationship?
So when Yarona started,
the
technical partner in the bid process was the guys who had started YFM.
Yes. Now we saw that because Yarona FM looked like more like YFM at the time.
The colors.
Yeah, the colors and the vibes and everything else. So basically then that was the benchmark, more or less. Yes, yeah. Because you always need.
So I started taking advantage of that association by speaking to the guys there. Nali Dumi were always curious about how do we make our stuff better. So we started going there. Met a guy called Shane Huntley, amazing fellow, amazing programming brain. He taught Dumi and I a lot when it comes to this radio thing. I mean a lot.
Yes.
We attended broadcast conferences, workshops, content development, whatnot. We were there, asking questions, questioning some of the theories being presented, raising a hand on issues of context. Guys, it might work in America. It might not necessarily work in Botswana.
Yes.
There's certain
ways,
the
market.
Absolutely. And that's how I got my skills in programming, in being able to design what a station sounds like, being able to speak to a specific audience and feed them what they want, and to make that uniform and familiar from the breakfast show all the way to the evening show. And then I started learning how to train for radio.
Yeah, that's
talent coaching and development.
Yes.
I love teaching. That's why I took up a job as an English teacher.
Yes, absolutely.
I love sharing knowledge because there were people around me who shared knowledge with me. So that was also very inspiring for me. Why would I keep all this that I've learned
to myself?
What's
the point?
So
that's leadership.
I designed and built a training program, Goyaro.
This is when now you are still the music manager?
No, at this point now, I'm the programs manager.
You're program manager. You did the morning show as well as the music.
Did the morning show, music manager, moved on to afternoon, music manager, and then one day I said,
I think it's time.
Air,
yes, it's time.
And again, I had a leader in Dumi, a manager who believed in me. And he said, yeah, man, I think you're ready. Programs manager. And I became programs manager, Yarona. and that was 2003.
And Dumi now is the station
Now
manager.
he's the big boss.
So you always need, I have a friend who always says, in your career, you always need what you call a sponsor. A sponsor meaning the leader who will say, like you've been mentioning earlier, somebody that listens to you.
Yeah.
And actually assimilates what you're saying, not necessarily using them for better listens and back to forth.
Obana,
Yes.
in this broadcasting game, Dumi and I make a dangerous team.
Yeah.
Like, no lies.
It's quite obvious, I mean.
We make a dangerous team in this broadcasting thing. Yeah. As programs manager now, I put my energies into building the team that I want. For the goals I had set for Yarona, from a programming perspective.
From program perspective, yes.
So guys will tell you, I take that thing very seriously. Like, you can't come to me looking for a job on the radio. You have to be looking for a career. If you're not looking for a career, I'm not interested.
Yes.
If you're not looking for a career in broadcasting, in content creation, right?
The whole thing.
In the entertainment, I'm not the guy to talk to.
Yeah.
Because I want the most out of you.
Yes. You want to hear the vision here.
I want the most out of you every day. Every day I want the most out of you. Because I know that is what is going to get you to greatness. And I have a track record of plenty of presenters that I took who were just talent. And I took that talent and shaped it into skill and watched them blossom. And I'd be right there to say, nope, Ricardo, this one, nah, you need to do it this way.
Yes.
Try it this way. Do it like this. Plenty.
Yes.
Even in Zambia, I went and replicated the same.
Yes, I want us to, we'll get into Zambia. Before we get to Zambia, that Dumi mentioned in our interview last, I want us to talk about the programs management, and then you're talking about the training.
Yeah.
The training.
Emma.
Is the schools, where is the training school? Can we have is it a broadcasting training school? Because because it can't be exclusive to Yarona FM now.
The Owen Rampha School of Broadcasting
Excellence. the Owen Rampha Broadcasting School of Excellence. Exactly that. Because, as you're talking like this, and you're not blowing your own horn, we have heard it. All the interviews of the Petulas, the Scars, all of them, they have mentioned it. All the Yarona FM presenters and radio broadcasters, all of them have mentioned what, guys, Owen Rampha is the guy who has shown us how to do this. So with that said, and they were just saying, well, we just cannot believe there's no school, right now, because it cannot be exclusive to Yarona FM only at this stage. Now, when I'm challenging you saying to them, what is the vision? You can't just want to be a radio. When are we getting the Owen Rampha?
Look, I tried that, at least let me say I investigated the possibilities and options some years ago. Hey, it's quite a cumbersome process, but it's actually like training is my passion. So it's definitely something that I'm definitely going to do. It might not be a whole university, but I'm going to get some accreditation for my training programs and my modules, because I designed them from scratch, at least most of them. Some of them are inspired from some of the things that I've picked up from other programs, but I've shaped them and contextualized them with my own take, and twist. And look, the trainings are real. They are theory, they are practical.
We know that. We know that.
And they are real and they are rigorous. And it's ongoing, even when you're on air as a presenter. It's an ongoing process for me up until the day you decide to fly the coop and move on to something else. But it is constant, because it's an ever-evolving medium.
Yes. So I think what you're saying is it's coming.
Yeah.
So we should just sit tight. It's coming.
It's coming.
I'm going to hold you
I hope I still have the energy for it.
No, you do. and I think what I will now remind you who you are, okay? And remind you that you don't have to do all the work. This is where the delegation comes in.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah, and yes, you're right. It starts small, but it will end up being the university that we need to get to. You'll be the founder, basically. I'm gonna be the accountability partner for you on this one. So, Owen, before we get to now that did you leave Yarona FM at one point? Now the broadcasting. Did you move to any other stage in the broadcasting within Yarona FM?
Yeah. I rose up from my entire career. I rose up from presenter, music manager, programs manager, station manager. Then I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I want to set up my own little consulting, in broadcasting.
In broadcasting.
So I left.
This was which year was this?
Oh, about 10, 11 years ago.
But we haven't touched on the DJing part.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So the DJing hasn't come yet. Yeah. Are you saying with the general manager, the Tabatsutu, and because I need us to get to the depth of it, because now we've talked about you, the presenter, Owen, the music manager, Owen, the broadcaster, Owen, the general manager. I want us to talk about Owen, the DJ. Did you start at Yarona FM, Owen, the DJ?
No.
When did Owen, the DJ start? And I want to talk about Tabatsutu and how Tabatsutu came.
I started DJing in 1998. I was 22 years old. And it was at the insistence of a guy called Ronald Charuma, a.k.a. Ron G.
So you did both broadcasting and DJing since then? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Ronald owns at 8 Design. Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
At it's called Block 10 by the Design Quarter.
Okay, yeah.
But he was into the music and whatnot back in the 90s. Ronald had been listening to my radio show on RB2.
Yes.
And he's like, man, this dude's music is dope. Let's put him in the club. So he came to see me. I'm like, dude, I can't DJ for squat. Like, I know nothing. Like, I wouldn't know what to touch, where to go.
And this has never come to you? This has never...
I've always wanted to be a DJ.
Have you?
Yeah, I just didn't know how to go about it at first. But you see, Ronald was early. I had barely started, settled in at RB2. I was a month into the game. And he was already saying, no, man, let's put you in the club.
So you did both.
So he's like, my boy will teach you. Right?
What's this was
a guy called, he currently goes by the name of DJ C4. He used to go by the name of DJ Allen, but now he goes by the name of C4. He was a resident DJ at a club called Legends, where Zoom is now.
I remember Legends, yes. I'd never been, but yeah,
so I remember Legends. So these guys took me and said, dude, we're going to put you into shape. We're going to teach you how to DJ. And it was just during the transition, vinyl to CDs. Right?
Yeah.
And I got there. Now, even though I was perplexed for it, I had spent a lot of time. Like when guys were grooving, I was always the guy standing next to the DJ.
Is it?
Watching what the DJ is doing. Right? Bo Cosmo, Bo Ski, Bo Fresh.
This is when now you're starting the DJ
No,
career.
this is
before
groove season. In my teens.
Is it?
In my teens.
Oh, you forgot to mention this.
Yeah, in my teens. So when DJ Cosmo and Bo Fresh and Bo Ski, Bo Sid were playing, I'd dance a bit, but I'd be like,
but you were always
paying attention to how these guys blend one song to another, Like how come these songs seamlessly transition from
one to
song A to song B, How do they pull it off? So I was always paying attention, watching, because I had this real curiosity and real interest in wanting to be a DJ. Now, come 1998, I still haven't gotten anyone to teach me until Ronald pitches up and tells me that Alan, aka C4, will teach me. So I'm at Legends. I got chase at 3. 12 to 3. Gotta be 2. I'm at Legends with Alan.
Learning how to DJ?
For 4 hours. Okay? Every other day. For 8 months.
This is where the dream came in. Remember the dream of you, people shouting your name?
Yeah.
Were you DJing in that dream?
No.
Oh,
I wasn't a DJ yet. I was DJing in the dream.
In the dream. In the dream. I'm talking about the dream, yes. Okay.
It took me exactly that amount of time.
8 months.
Like I said, 4 hours every other day for 8 months before I played my first live
set
gig.
Is it called set? What is it called? Yes,
set.
yeah.
And it was at Legends, That's where I played my first live, where I was like, I'm playing for a crowd. I didn't do too bad because I subsequently got hired as a DJ Go Legends. And I would get paid $200 per night.
How long
with
would
a
that
bonus of $50 if the bar made $6,000.
So how long would the set be?
Oh, at the club? All night.
All night. So
just rotate the three of you. So I play sometimes an hour, sometimes 3 hours. And at the time, I used to actually play hip hop and R&B.
Oh, you were like the O'Neill of our
I
time.
used to play hip hop and R&B. I then made the switch to old school kwaito. It was one gig. One gig, I remember it very clearly, House of Blues. About 2001. I was booked there. Man, all the DJs had played, all the house, all the hip hop. I realized that in my CD collection, I have a lot of old school kwaito. I have a lot of Tebe, Mdu, Trompis, Mafigi, Zolo, all those guys.
But they hadn't played that.
No one had played it. And no one had played it for years. So when I came on, I just dropped an old school kwaito set, and House of Blues nearly came down. It was ridiculous. The reaction, I wasn't even expecting that. The reaction that I got from the crowd was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So I then figured that's my niche. That's how I'm going to break into the game. Because no one's really doing this. And I started playing old school kwaito sets everywhere I was booked at. And it was driving the people crazy. And that's how I kind of blew up as a DJ. Then I switched to house music.
Oh, you switched to house music? Oh.
Yeah, I love house music.
Yes.
In fact, look, I love all things music. If it's a dope tune, I'm down.
No, that's who you
but
are.
I love playing house music.
Yes.
I still enjoy playing kwaito. I'm a big Mapiano fan. Like, for me, it's such a powerful music genre because it's life-changing. What it's done for the proponents of Mapiano, the people who make it, the people who live it.
Yes.
As a culture, there's no contest. It's a lot like what kwaito
it was then. Yes. So now it's a new genre.
It's an amazing thing to watch. Like, I've been down for Mapiano since day one. Like, a lot of people don't know that. Like, I was infusing a couple of Mapiano songs here and there in my mixes as far back as 2014, 2015, before it became the mainstream sound that it is today. But there's a particular type of piano that I like, which,
And that's what you're playing now?
Yeah, okay. So in my sets, you'll hear house music, you'll hear piano.
All right. So, Owen, Tabatutu. How did the Tabatutu name? Where did you get that name? Is it the entertainment name? Jazzy, what was your name when you called into radio?
Jazzy Def.
Jazzy Def.
AKA Jazzy D. So Robbie Rob gave me the name Mr. O as a DJ. I used to go by the name Owen Rampha as a DJ.
Yes.
And I was very, very finicky about it. Like, you could never title me as DJ Owen Rampha. It was always just Owen Rampha.
Owen Rampha, yes.
And it's because I wanted my pops and my moms to be proud of what I was doing. So even on air, I went by Owen Rampha, my full name. Not DJ Funky O. I wanted it to be known
not Jazzy Jeff. No, not Jazzy Jeff.
I wanted to be known all the time, exactly who I was.
So that was deliberate.
Very deliberate.
Okay.
And then Robbie Rob coined this Mr. O name.
He just called you that personally, okay.
Yeah, I said,
works.
Hey, man, I'm switching to this for the DJing thing, man. He's like, yeah, that's not a bad idea. And then I started branding myself as Mr. O for the DJing thing. So you book and it'd be on the flyer, Mr. O. Same thing, no DJ, Mr. O, Mr. O. One day, after a couple of really hot sets, all over the country, I'm like, man, you're hot like fire, dude. I'm like, you know what? I want to be relatable.
Are you telling yourself this?
Yeah. I want to be relatable to Botswana, young and old. I'm hot on the decks. I leave the decks in flames when I'm done. Yeah, what's that thing that we used to say to kids, or, beware of the fire, beware of the flames, beware of the heat. Tabatut.
Aha, the flame is coming. So beware of the fire. That's where it came.
That's where it came.
And then you translated it.
When I touch those decks, beware of the heat. When I leave them, they're up in flames.
Yes.
So tabatut.
We used to love your sets, by the way, on Yarona Fm. Because that was during our time when Yarona Fm came. That was during our...
So that's how I came. And I didn't know that I was going to run away like that. Oh my goodness. That thing, Tabatsutu, it doesn't matter where I go. It's either Tabatsutu or Tutu. They've gone and made their own, like Tutu.
Now you're Tutu, yes.
Doesn't matter. I could be at the vet fence gate.
Yes.
And the guy at the gate will be like, oh, Tabatsutu.
Yes.
I'm just like, oh my
gosh.
goodness.
This name is not going
it's
anywhere.
Not going anywhere,
Yes.
Yeah, so that's how that came to be. And it added to the whole energy of the brand, It really took off. And then it also forced me to back it up, with some really hot sets.
Yes, hot.
Yeah,
Fire.
it really
always.
forced me to back it up. So
that was deliberate as well. You're very, I think you're a person that really thinks things through. And let's talk about now you leaving Yarona FM as the station manager. And, and of course you've trained a lot of guys. This is during the O'Neill times, this is during the, all these guys who went through you. I even forget the names, but those were really exceptional. Even Robin, oh gosh, those were our favorite times when we went radio, and those are guys who knew radio. We could even feel the way that you guys are taking yourselves very seriously, and we could feel that there's leadership behind it. And I guess this is you and me doing your thing behind the scenes. Now, can we just now transition from you managing the station to consulting? Let's.
So I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to rock solo, So I'm gonna set up a little consulting firm and see what comes out of it. So that's what I did.
What's the name of it?
RadioWorks.
RadioWorks. What's the vision behind RadioWorks?
Well, really to assist, build broadcasting businesses, upscale and upskill, create revenue streams that make sense to help broadcast businesses remain relevant in a digital age.
How did that go?
Started off pretty well.
What year was this?
2013.
2013, yes.
The first consulting job I got was from YMH, which is the holding company that owns Yarona and YTV. Yes. And they were looking to purchase a media entity in Zambia. Yes. So I had first gone on the, the first look, when I had first gone on the exploratory mission to go and suss out the market.
Yes, I remember doing
suss out the business.
In Zambia, and how it works.
And then came back, and now we're talking.
Research, basically. Yeah. What you've been saying, you have to research. Yes.
And now we're talking about doing okay. So what do you think? All right, no, I think it can be done. I think if we do what we need to do, there's some things to fix, but it can be a solid media business. And then, boom, I got that contract. I relocated to Lusaka. And for the first 6 months, I did nothing except research. Like, I was talking
extensive.
I was talking to advertisers, past and present. Guys who stopped advertising, guys who are advertising now. I was talking to staff. I was talking to the regulator. I was talking to the audience. That station. To find out everything I could find out.
Oh, were you taking over a radio station? Yes. So you're not starting from scratch.
No, we're not starting from scratch.
Okay,
we were taking over an already existing media business. It was actually
a media business.
If I'm not mistaken, it was the first privately owned commercial broadcaster in Zambia. Yeah. Like mainstream, It was amazing for me being in that market because the competition is real in Zambia. There's over 100 radio stations, probably around 50 in Lusaka alone, you know. And I
What's
was
the
like,
population of Lusaka? Do you have
probably
an
about
idea?
18 million.
18 million, yeah. So it's definitely way bigger than here, yeah.
No, I think the population of Zambia
It's 18 million.
as a whole is 18 million.
Yeah, what about Lusaka?
You're probably looking at about 5 million in Lusaka. Yeah. Sorry about that. That mishap.
That's okay, yeah.
But for me, it was new challenges, a new market. Of course, I was excited. You know, I was like, man, I can't wait to sink my teeth into this. And I remember presenting to the Phoenix board and owners the vision, the strategy.
That's the name of the current
Phoenix
company.
FM.
Yeah, yes, Phoenix FM.
Radio
yes.
Phoenix. Huge station in Zambia. And the fact that I've been a part of that station and a part of its current success, are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, it's big.
I point that out in my resume. Like, yo, you don't understand. And the truth is, when I arrived at Phoenix, they were making X amount a year. And within 12 months, I doubled their revenues. The systems and strategies I put in
That is
place.
amazing.
Within 12 months, and here's the thing. When I got there and made the presentation,
Yes.
the strategy and everything, these guys were looking at me like, le peka mashwele.
This is too
What is he talking about? One of the guys just raised his hands like, yeah, we hear you, but these numbers are not feasible in this market. Dumi looks at me, I look at Dumi, I'm like,
they don't know
they
us.
really don't know us. Huh? So, look, Dumi and I sat down, we really worked that thing. We really worked that station. I got the work. And it was a systematic approach. It started, like I said, the research. Then it started with retraining of the on-air talent.
Yes.
Because it's like a lot of people don't get that. The presenters are the stars of the show when it comes to this broadcasting.
Absolutely. So they need to
They are the
mention-
stars of the show.
Yeah.
The presenters attract an audience.
That's selling
Right?
the radio.
This audience is what we pitch to clients, right? People have this belief that the business of radio is about selling airtime. No, it's not. It's about matching your, as a client, matching your brand and product and giving them access, your brand and product, giving it access to the right audience. That's what the business of in fact, the business of content creation.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. I deliver this content. It attracts a specific audience. You come and you pay me money to speak to this audience because this audience is exactly who you want for your product. It's really
That's
that's what it is.
Yeah.
So now I have to teach the talent how to keep this audience engaged. And that's what I love doing.
Yes.
You know, so that's what we did. And even then, the on-air talent was looking at me like I'm crazy. The things I was asking them to do, the things that I told them they needed to do, the things that they needed to stop doing. They look at me like, this dude from Botswana, oh, Bekamas.
Hi.
You know, he ain't normal.
They didn't get the vision.
We created award-winning broadcasters.
Amazing.
The following year, those guys were winning awards.
This is the presenters.
The presenter, Go Phoenix.
Tell me now, this is you guys owning 100%, or you obviously
No, it's a partnership.
It's a partnership.
You can't do that in the
in
the Zambian
market.
yeah.
Yes.
No.
So tell me now, how did you get the buy-in from eventually? Because you said they looked at you crazy, but how did you now eventually get
I built
the buy-in?
a really tight strategy, right? And with Dumi's help, we built a really tight strategy, and then I presented it because I owned it, you know. So I presented it. That's how we got the buy-in.
Okay.
They looked at us like we're crazy, you know. But also, what did we have? We had a proven track record. Go Yarona Fm. See,
Yes.
we fall from the sky.
We know what
I mean?
we're doing. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so
That was it.
they actually then insisted also that, okay, for this to work, then we need you to implement it. And that was already part of the plan, but
Yes.
you know, right there.
Yeah.
So
the team, as you're training, you said you did had a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
As we're training you. Yeah. How
change is difficult for people.
Yeah.
People love familiarity.
Yeah, of course. It's,
You know,
it's human.
comfort
It's
zone.
not,
It's
it's
human.
not
It's
a
human
human nature. Yes.
Yeah. But
Eventually,
stuff that I learned along the years, more management day. I'm not the same manager I was 23 years ago. I'm really not. You know, as much as I'm firm and serious about the business of broadcasting and what my expectations are from my team, sometimes what I've learned, sometimes it's almost a democracy. Sometimes it's a benevolent dictatorship. I think your job, especially when you're at my experience, is to surround yourself with people who are willing to suck up and learn from that experience, but who are also here to innovate. People who are bringing in fresh, new ideas,
Yes.
and you are sitting there saying, listen, this one is going to blow up in your face. And the reason it's going to blow up in your face is because of X, Y, Z. But if you tweak it here,
Yes.
it's a surefire winner.
This is where you come in with your experience. Yes. Now with the new generation.
I'm not going to come up with 1,000 new ideas per minute. I used to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I like to believe I still have some dope ideas, but I'm not 23, 24 anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
This generation is different as well. Yeah.
But these guys, some of those ideas are brash. They haven't been well thought out. They're short-sighted. You know what I mean? There's certain regulatory aspects that they might not be clued up on. I'm there to say, yo, I love it. But
this way.
you need to sharpen it here. You need to tone it down here. You need to amplify it here. You know? And then there'll be pushback. No, but Mr. I'm thinking. And listen, if you can sell it to me and you get my buy-in, I'll let you go with it as it is. And I'll tell you, we're going to go with it as it is from your end. If it doesn't work, we'll fix it.
Aha.
If we can't fix it after 2 attempts, then clearly it's not.
Yes.
And we'll leave it alone.
Then
But what I will do, if it blows up in your face, I'll back you up. I will stand up and say, I green-lighted this. I believed this. And the buck stops with me. I'll take the heat.
Leadership, basically.
You know. So
Comes back to now, Owen, with the latest generation. What are you advising them here? Particularly the ones who are coming into broadcasting.
Hey, that internet money is not easy to get, huh?
Yeah.
Just so you know. This is my word of advice.
Yes.
There's this illusion, this myth that you can go out there and make millions on the internet. Yeah. Some people can. Not all of you will. You know, so get a skill. Get a sellable skill. Get a skill that is in demand. A skill that is in need. And make sure you're the best at that skill. You know what I mean? That's how you're going to push through in these difficult times, right? There's many, for them, those would be their mainstream careers. There's many that are technology focused, you know? Today's generation,
Yes,
that's
absolutely,
that thing.
yeah.
Coding, you know, data analytics, and so much more, right? Even just designing freaking video games.
Yeah.
You know, and content delivery, you know. But all I'm saying is, don't buy everything you see on the net. Like, you have all these supposed content creators who are making all this money. It's not necessarily the case. I'm in the industry.
It doesn't necessarily look.
It's not exactly what it is.
What it looks.
What it seems like. I'm in the industry. I've been in the industry for 25 years, and I've kept myself clued up on the transitions throughout the industry. So I'd like to believe there's a lot I know even currently in the space that we exist
Absolutely,
in. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, also when
What does that mean?
right? All that glitters isn't gold.
All that glitters.
Really, that's what it means.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm just telling the young one, and these guys are really talented. And you know what I love though about the internet? The internet has leveled the playing field. In terms of you sharing, exposing your talents and your skill to a broad audience, the internet has changed the game.
Yeah.
Take full advantage of that. There's no one who can stand in front of you and say, I'm not giving you access to my platform. I'm not. You're not good enough.
You can do it yourself.
You can do it yourself. Read up on the game, understand and appreciate the shortfalls, right? Pick up from those who succeeded in the game. Pick up as much as you can from them. Add your little twist, your flair, your pizzazz, do your thing. Get that bag. There's bags out there. There's bags to be secured. I'm just saying, it's not as easy as it looks.
You have
It
to
really
work.
isn't.
You have
It
to
really
work.
isn't.
And this market as well also depends on the market that you're in. Botswana
Absolutely.
being a market now. How long were you in Zambia?
Ooh, 2013, 20, yeah, all in all, I think, until 2019.
2019.
Between 2017 and 2019, I was flitting
Yes,
between Zambia
yes.
and Botswana.
How is the radio doing now, Phoenix?
Phoenix is probably
The best radio station.
the most successful business unit in our group of companies.
This is amazing.
Phoenix, like straight fire,
Yeah.
absolute fire.
So you're back in Botswana.
Yeah, I
You
came
came
back
in 2019, yes. What are you doing in Botswana now? Now that you're not on radio, you're not at Yarona Fm, you're done with Phoenix. Your project is done in Phoenix now.
I'm currently general manager at Yarona Fm.
No, I'm talking about 2019.
When I return,
Yes.
there we go.
We're talking about 2019.
I'm
No,
thinking of
you're
growing.
today. No,
I'm thinking of growing this consultancy business, right? I had gotten another contract in Zambia, interestingly enough. Here's the thing about maturity, professional maturity.
Yes.
The lack of tele, which is a huge thing I learned. But I learned this thing. I watched it being crystallized by doing.
Yes.
I finished up my contract with Phoenix. I wanted to come back home to explore, to keep growing this consultancy thing at Radio Works. And then I got a contract with Phoenix's biggest competitor in Lusaka, Hot FM.
Yes, you're done with Phoenix now. Your
to do a
project is done.
consultancy
Yes.
for them.
What is the name of the radio?
Hot FM.
Oh, Hot FM, yes.
And all I got was support and encouragement from Dumi.
Dumi, who is now part owner to the competition.
Yeah.
Amazing. Leadership.
Absolutely.
This is it.
And here's the thing. You need to understand something. I'll take my skills and I'll share them with you. And I'll take them and I'll share them with these guys. If you choose not to implement what I teach you,
It's up to you.
that's your business.
Absolutely.
That's really the bottom line.
That's it. That's it.
So I got that. I came back. I did a couple of jobs for one of the other local broadcasters here. And then I started working on some nice contracts with one of the entities, Botswana, one of the parastatals.
Yes.
Then COVID happened.
2019.
And then it became, let's postpone. Let's review.
Nice contract.
Unfortunately, we have to cancel.
Oh.
That was that. And
2020 now.
things went belly up. Things went belly up, straight up. I'm now wondering, what on earth am I going to do? There's no gigs. There's no business coming in. The stuff I've been working on, which was surefire. COVID upended it, unemployed.
No income coming in.
One day, I'm at the farm.
This is when the farming came. Yes.
One day I'm at the farm, one of my favorite uncles. And he's got what looks like tons of watermelon planted. I'm like, my dad didn't give me help. He's like, hey, I'm like, hey.
What year was this?
It was 2020.
2020.
It was 2020. Yeah. I'm like, hey, I built dope sales strategies. Let's get into a partnership. You deliver the melons. I'll sell them.
Yeah.
But something. He's like, come on, dude. City boy, come on.
Like a sales strategy.
What are you going to tell me about Orisama? Anyway, I'm like, cool. They're ready for harvest. I said, give me 100 watermelons. He's like, no way. I'm going to give you 20. So you can test it. I'm like, no. Give me 100 watermelons. And I convince him. I take Halaxi and I go like, bing, park it under a tree, write up a wholesale story on Facebook, and sell out 100 watermelons the very first day I set up under that tree.
Yes, I remember the under the tree sale. Was it under Hakalivu? Yes.
Sell out 100 watermelons, very first day. I come back in the morning to the farm at 5 a.m. Give my uncle hard cash. Hard cash that he's never seen from
In his
any
life.
distributor. Any distributor that he's ever given watermelons to. That fast. He's like, what did you do with the melons? Did you throw them in a ditch? I'm like, no. I sold every single one of them. Give me another 100. And I sold the 100. So the strategy I built was very straightforward. I was like, okay, what are the pain points around watermelons? And I had tasted my uncle's watermelons. I was like, there is no contest. I have never tasted watermelons like this.
And that's so good.
And I was like, what are the pain points? People complain about mushy watermelons. People complain about watermelons that are not sweet, that are not juicy, as in they're not fresh.
Yeah.
And people complain about excess. So I was like, that's exactly what I'm building into my pitch. Size, you can't touch us. Biggest watermelons, the sweetest, the crunchiest. It's the crunch. The freshest at the right price. And once I'm done at my stall, I'll deliver to your house.
Yes.
Door to door. No one was delivering.
Sales strategy.
No one was delivering watermelons anywhere.
At the time, yeah.
At the time, no one. And that's how I was selling 100 watermelons a day.
That's how you started the farming sales.
Yeah, that's how I started the farming sales.
So
but
now,
previously, just before I had built a business, my dealer for my mom.
Yes. So the Madila was before the
was before
the watermelon.
So I was picking up lessons from how to sell online.
Social media.
Social media. I was picking that up and applying that into what seemed like a basic business. There's nothing basic about the revenues generated from those endeavors.
There's nothing basic. There's a strategy behind.
So I realized that early on in the game that I'm not gonna approach this as just a guy sitting under a tree.
Yeah.
And it was me, Mr. O, Tsavatsutu, Owen Rampha.
We saw that, yeah.
Former
general manager.
Station manager, Yarona Fm.
Under the
managing
tree.
consultant, Ulusaga. Huge DJ. Under a tree, selling Madila and watermelons. And they were talking about me. And I didn't care. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's how it is in this game. You're like, oh, hey.
Korafu.
I'm like, hey, I need to feed myself.
I need to feed my family.
I need to feed my family.
Yeah.
Right? And right now, this COVID thing, it ain't playing around with nobody.
Especially with the entertainment business, yeah.
And we were fortunate, the food. There were certain exceptions and permits given, so we were good.
Yeah.
So there was a gap, a niche, and I learned.
And you grabbed it.
I learned certain things even from a marketing and sales perspective while I was going through that. How we were marketing, who we are about the, what is it? Is it the 4 Ps?
Yes.
Price, product, place, or promotion, I think. Yeah. I believe in all that.
Yeah.
I believe in persistence.
That
I believe in people. Yeah. I believe in persistence. I believe in people. I believe in passion.
And relationship.
Yes.
I see.
So that's how that
came. That's how, and it's still on now. And it's still on. So now what you did there, and what I'm trying to get to here is you diversified your income. You had to. And COVID forced a lot of people to be creative. So you became creative.
Necessity.
Creative. And
leads to you being creative.
Creative, yes.
Inventive.
Yes. And it's still up. So now the crunchiness and all that, did you have to implement something in the farm for it to be
So
there?
my uncle is badass with the fertilizer, the watering schedule.
And all that.
He is just gifted with that.
Oh.
And that's how, and our watermelons are consistent. Every
No, that yummy. I'm a customer.
Consistent,
Yeah.
So I think we're onto something, and now we want to look into, upscaling and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
2021, I then went back into mainstream employment.
Where did you go?
I got hired as a head of sales and marketing at Magoro group of companies.
Okay. What do they do?
Magoro Tank. What you guys call Jojo.
Oh, Jojo's. Okay, yeah. So you had to go back to formal employment now because one has to eat.
Absolutely. So Magoro Tank. and Magoro brick. They make clay face bricks.
I
So
see.
how to manage Magoro? Chances are, whatever you see, clay face brick is for Magoro.
Okay.
They are the biggest
Facebook company here. Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
And then how did that go?
I spent a year there. I loved it because it was a challenging environment. It was completely new to me.
Yeah.
Completely new. It's pretty much mining and manufacturing. It's production.
Yes.
You know, you're selling tangible items that have an input cost that you have to match on your pricing, on your distribution, all that. So I learned all
the whole
that
value chain
while I was there.
Yeah,
you know, and it was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing.
amazing, yeah.
Like I said, always take the opportunity.
And
learn.
utilize, absolutely. Yeah. And then from Makoro?
So I start hearing talk in the corridors.
Because your ears always on the your ears always on the ground. Yeah.
I start hearing talk in the corridors. Psst, 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 psst.
Yes.
There might be a vacancy. Yarona Fm. Okay. Interesting. And I'm like, in 2020, I had been singing the song to me that, hey, you know what, it's been a while. And I think it's time to go back home.
Yeah.
It's time to go back home.
Yeah.
Also, I'm feeling the need to sink my teeth into the Yarona product once again.
Yes.
And, get it fired up.
And again, yeah.
And this was in 2020.
2020. You're
So
speaking
now,
it into the universe.
Yeah.
To the universe.
2021, hasta hela. Beginning of 2022, I'm hearing this talk about possibility of a vacancy. So I inquire. And no, they fill me in. And I'm like, I would like to apply. Feel free, man.
It's a free world.
Yeah, so I applied. Got shortlisted with several other candidates. And I got the job.
Yes.
As General Manager.
This is in 2022.
2022.
Right.
April 2022.
April 2022. Yeah. How's that going?
Phew! I'm asking, dude, is this as nice as it used to be?
Yeah.
The environment is different, right? The challenges are different, so you have to adapt. It's a new way of tackling these things. Your clients are different. The landscape from a marketing and sales perspective is different. The talent that you're working with, even the attitudes, the mindset is different.
Total different generation.
Totally different. So it's been a huge learning curve for me. I admit that with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
But we're getting there.
Yeah. It's a process.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it right now. Yeah. We've had our mishaps here and there. Pick ourselves up, dust it off.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Because I see you've lost a couple of talents there.
Yes, absolutely, we have. Yeah. Hey, look, people lose talents everywhere. Even at Botswana.
Everywhere.
You just don't read about it. Like when it happens to us.
It's just not radio.
Because it's not exactly the affinity. Hey, make no mistake. You build a relationship with your favorite presenter on air.
Absolutely.
Even when we move your favorite presenter from a specific show to another, you get upset.
No.
Radio, the content business is an emotion-driven business. It's about connecting with you on an emotional level to solicit a reaction from you. That's what the content business is. That is the premise of it.
Yeah,
right?
That's how it is, yes.
If you connect with my content, then I'm winning. If I keep my content consistent, it's going to be familiar to you. When it's familiar to you, you become loyal to it. So
that's how it works.
Consistency breeds familiarity. Familiarity breeds loyalty.
Yeah.
When I mess around with this consistency, your familiarity is messed around with, you get upset because your loyalty is being tested.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's the whole premise of this thing. So that's why guys get up in arms when we lose a talent. But it's also testament to how connected
they are to the radio station.
they are too. Because, I'm sorry to say it, People lose talent
everywhere
else. We don't see that kind of reaction.
Yeah, because of the emotional connection. It's because of the emotional connection to it. And also, like you're saying, it's because it's a public thing, so obviously to be more public than others.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It happens. Contracts come to an end.
Absolutely.
There's contractual disputes.
Yeah.
Right? One party may not have understood a particular clause.
Yes.
Another party may have understood it in this way. It happens.
There's
There's disciplinary issues that take place. Here's the thing. Yarona FM is a business that works on contractual agreements and obligations with HR processes in place, just like
it's a business. It's a running business. Yeah.
It's just that, like I said, we're out there. You are connected to us.
Yes.
So all you see is what you're reading.
You don't know what happened behind the scenes.
I can't sit here and talk about contract Yarona FM on the public domain.
No.
That's a confidential matter. I can't sit there and say presenter X Jana.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, you can't do that. No.
Like I said,
it's also unprofessional, isn't it? Yeah.
So it happens.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We have a constant system that churns out fresh talent. It is our mandate to develop fresh
content. Absolutely.
It's our mandate.
Yeah. So, no, absolutely. I mean, you're also obviously remembering that it's a new generation, yeah. But funny enough, as much as there's a new generation, there's a new everything, market, there's still the old market that is still loyal to the station. This is us.
Hey, that's one of our challenges.
This is actually quite, I get to wonder how you guys are handling that. That's one of our challenges. Because it's supposed to be a youth radio station, but the youth,
we have so many listeners who are passionate about Yarona FM, who are outside of the Yarona FM core target audience.
Yeah.
Who
grew up with the Yarona
FM. Apply pressure on us in terms of content from a music, news, and like actual content perspective.
Yeah.
But guys, come on, you're killing me. I'm like, but dude, sorry. It's not really for. We love that you're youthful at heart.
She's not you. You're not the target. So we're not the target market.
You know what?
This is what the business does. Okay.
I always, even when I do my trainings, I always tell my team that, a fried chicken joint sells fried chicken all day, every day.
Yeah.
You can never walk into a fried chicken joint and say, I've got $1,000 today. I want some grilled chicken.
Yeah.
And they'll give you grilled chicken. Never.
It's a fried chicken
joint.
joint.
I'll point you out to the place where they serve
fried
chicken.
Absolutely.
You can't go to a restaurant in the CBD today with $1,000 and say, I'd like a box of traditional brewed alcohol. I look at you and like, no.
So you have to focus.
So, especially in this compartmentalized environment, trading environment that we exist in now, and the fact that you are more in control today of what you want to consume and the options that are out there, it is more and more imperative for you to find your niche
and focus on it.
Focus on your niche. Be an expert on your niche and deliver to them 100% every day. That's where the success is.
Oh, yeah. Owen, this has been amazing. Thank you so much. I mean, my production team are standing up because we've been here. We've been talking forever now. They're just like, it's time to wind up. It's time to wind up.
I have so many stories to tell.
Yes, but
one day I'm gonna write a book.
I wanted to get there as we are closing.
Yeah, I think.
Can we please? When can we expect a broadcasting book, a book about Owen? And I think we need a broadcasting book, and we also need a biography, or whatever. However, when can we expect a book?
Today, I haven't even dropped half the names of the people that I've experienced and worked with and done great things with.
Yeah, it's not even half.
That I've impacted on. It's been a story. I actually thank you for bringing me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm going to be doing more of this. I won't.
No, you're not doing that.
I won't. But I enjoyed this.
Yes.
And I wanted to thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
It's actually given me another look into what my journey has been like.
Yeah.
So that's been pretty interesting even for me. And Maybe a book.
Yes, because you're a reader. Some of us are readers, and the only way that we have to be able to leave a legacy besides the work that we're doing is also leave something that we can tap into. Together with the school, of course. I mean. But Owen, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. We really appreciate you. I'm really hoping the viewer and the listener, because this is also going to go on our podcast, it has really learned so much from you. Everybody has been wanting to tap into this. And thank you so much for allowing us to tap into you and your inner knowing and who you are. Oh, this has been refreshing, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I did, and we thank Owen and himself for creating time for coming. Bye for now.